Welcome back to the Just Because podcast, a podcast about all things cosplay and life. I'm your boy Jeremy, and welcome back to the podcasting microphone. It's Daniela. Say hi, Daniela.
Hello, it is me,
Okay,
Daniela.
she's back. If you like her,
I'm
excellent.
back.
If you don't like her, you're going to come to love her. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, we're back with the first episode of 2025. This is like season 3 of the Just Because podcast. And this is our 51st episode. Did you know that?
Wow. No. Oh my gosh. 51st.
How long were you listening in since we started? Because we started way back a couple of years ago now.
Yeah. Okay. It's a struggle to think past a year. But I remember.
Was it before or after we met?
It was definitely after we met.
After we met, okay.
So I didn't know until after we met.
That's okay.
That's when we were following
each other as mutuals and spread the good word. By the way, I run a podcast. You want to join sometime? And here we are. So anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So jumping back into why you guys like listening to this in the first place, we're talking all things cosplay, and we're going to kick off with a banger. We're talking about the dark side of cosplay. That's right. Everything to do from scandals to drama to cancel culture to elitism, all that nasty stuff. We're going to be talking a bit about, what our understanding of it has been, our experiences crawling through the mud with this stuff, and also what we've learnt from it and what we're going to pass on to everybody. So hopefully you can navigate, this quote-unquote shitstorm when it hits you. Hopefully it doesn't, but you'll be well equipped for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Daniela, before we get started, we just want to make a quick announcement. So this is going to be the first episode, Season 3, 2025. Everything's fresh and popping. Daniela's going to be more regular on the show now because we talk a lot. And we play Baldur's Gate every week, and it's all good. But it's actually been very difficult for me from the last season to find regular guests week in, week out. So Daniela has very kindly decided to accept my invitation to be a bit more regular on this podcast. So now you have 2 different opinions, one from Brisbane, one from Sydney. So it'll be multifaceted. Now, let's crack into it. So we're talking about scandals and drama. Danielle, what's been your experiences like in the cosplay community? Has it been the perfect place where everyone gets along and everyone's kind to each other and everyone supports each other? What do you have to kind of say?
Sings Kumbaya and holds hands and cheers
everyone on.
Yeah.
Has that been your experience?
So, unfortunately, no, of course. I feel like it's only when you get really deep into a community and the more your name gets out there, the more likely you are, unfortunately, to have people who are going to want to kind of like take you down a peg or two. And of course, the more you interact with people in the community, sometimes you just won't get along, and that's completely normal.
That's normal.
That's fine. Yeah, like we don't all have to like each other. We can have conflicting personalities. It's what people do with that is what's really toxic in the community sometimes, and some people feel the need to prove they're right, which just screams insecurity, in my opinion. That's just like they're insecure. They think you're going to beat them to it almost. But it's like the person a lot of the time is completely unaware that you don't like them.
Yeah. I mean, it's
They're like, what?
It's usually when, people says something bad about someone else and then, someone says, oh my God, I heard this person say X, Y, Z about you, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, I didn't say that. Something. It's actually really interesting because when, you go through school, you probably play sports of some kind. Everyone tries something and sometimes we're good, sometimes we suck. But, we're always taught from a young age. It's like, if your friend Billy makes a mistake on the soccer fields, we don't trash talk Billy. We're like, nice try, Billy. Keep trying hard, man. Like, you got this. But,
that's what we're meant to do.
That's what we're meant to do. But as soon as it comes to something else where, we're not forced to, shake hands and play kumbaya with each other around a campfire, that's when the egos come out for some reason. Now, I don't know about you, but one of my very first experiences in cosplay, kind of experiencing this kind of thing, This would have been like late 2000s, so 2009, 10 kind of thing, where I kind of
Ooh,
started.
yep.
I started really getting into cosplay myself at that time. When you wore the same costume as somebody else,
Oh,
and then
oh my gosh.
sometimes you just kind of like look at each other or pretend not to see each other, or just like not
Yeah.
talk to each other at all. She's like, I'm the better one. Oh my god, we're both dressed as Cloud from Final Fantasy. I'm the better Cloud. Like,
Oh gosh.
and it was the most awkward thing because this is me as like a really socially awkward young dude and like not knowing how to talk
it's
to people in
hard.
general. And this is mind you before the age of like phone cameras, before the age of Instagram or anything like that. So
Actually true.
yeah.
Damn.
So this was quite literally, in order to interact, you'd have to pull out, I don't know, your digital camera, your disposable camera, whatever it is, and decide that you wanted to talk to this person. But at the same time, you enjoyed being, I'm the best Final Fantasy Cloud here, and that person's there to take my photos away from me because they're gonna get photos or something like that. Did you have a similar experience or?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I would always get worried that they would be upset, if that makes sense. Because like you said, back in high school, it's especially with girls, like if you wear, say, the same prom dress or something, it's like taboo. Like, how dare you try and outshine me?
Really?
Type of, there are some girls like that.
Interesting.
Whereas I didn't have very high self-esteem back then either. So I automatically put myself lower than other people.
Danny.
Yeah, which is really sad. But, when you're growing up, not everyone is just born with this amazing confidence and self-esteem. So back then I was like, yo, the floor's yours, bro. Like, take it. It's all good.
Just outshine me. It's fine.
Yeah. So cosplay-wise, I'd always get worried. But as I grew and got more seriously into conventions, say about 2 years ago now, if I saw someone wearing the same thing, I usually do the whole Spider-Man thing, or you point and you go, oh.
Thankfully, I think these days it's so much nicer in terms of, oh, you're wearing Spider-Man, I'm wearing Spider-Man. Let's like be from different dimensions and just take pictures together. And it's really fun, and I really like the elements of it. It is. So I'd like to say these days that's not really an existent problem, but
I have heard though.
Well, we have heard, but I think where the scandals start, where the drama starts, because everyone talks about like, oh, cosplay drama. Everyone loves talking about it. No one loves being part of it. But I think depending on who you end up interacting with or clashing with, it's gonna come your way one way or another. And so, it's just about how you handle it and how you handle yourself, which is going to determine the outcome of what's going to happen. Right.
Oh God, yeah.
We were having a little short talk just before we started recording today, actually, just about, if you were like, okay, cosplay is all about collaboration, right? You make friends. It's like, wow, I like the same series as you. Wow, we should do a group cosplay together. And it's great. It's awesome. It's like, oh, let's make this. Let's take photos together. Let's enter a competition, whatever it is. But you've probably had the same experience as me. You meet someone, like they seem to get along well. You make cosplay plans. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, let's do this costume for this event. And let's do X, Y, Z. And then as time goes on, you start to be like, oh, cool. It's getting close. I'm working hard on my stuff. You check up on them and they're like, oh, how are you going with your cosplay? And they're like, oh, yeah, no, it's going well. Don't worry, I'm on track. And then, come day of the con, they're like, yeah, sorry, like, it's not done. I actually decided to wear this costume and hang out with these guys instead.
Oh,
and you're like,
that's so brutal.
Did something like that happen to you? Because that was the experience with me. One of the very first groups I ever tried to organize.
Oh my God, no way. I thankfully haven't had that experience because a lot of when I first started doing group cosplays, it was with I guess yours probably were with close friends too. I'm not sure, but they were with close friends that actually delivered it. They were the ones that did the group planning. Like, I was just delivering what they wanted.
Right. So you got
so
invited
it wasn't
into the
reverse.
group.
Yeah,
Right.
I haven't done my own groups yet, but if I did and that happened to me, I would be devastated. I'd be so mad as well. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Please tell me more.
Okay. So I'll try to condense it a little bit, but basically one of the very first groups I ever tried to organize, it was from a little bit of a niche series from an old video game. And mind you, this is like the age of MSN Messenger, if anyone remembers that. Everyone
God, yes.
everyone traded emails because there was no such thing as Instagram at the time. So we were swapping emails. So I had this giant email group of like, all right, guys, these are like the taken characters. This person said they're doing this. And, I was sending out emails all over the place and very clearly said, if you can't make it or you don't want to do anymore, that's fine. Just let me know, okay? Keep me posted. And end of the day, it's like, 5, 6, I think a group of maybe 6 or 7, they were supposed to rock up. We had 3. And I was very grateful for the other 2 who was there with me. But the other 4 was like, I thought we were going to, do this group, which is going to be cool. And the only thing they could have said when I saw them at the con was like, I told that person about it. I'm like, why didn't you just say something to me? I don't understand.
What?
Yeah, I know. And, you can blame it on, we were all like young and 18 or 19 at the time or 17, whatever it was. But at the same time, it's like, well, I've met 18-year-olds who communicate very well and they don't do this kind of stuff.
100%.
So
yeah,
that was
that's rough.
It was rough, but learning experience for me. And if this is to anyone who has met someone who's been unreliable, it's like, well, that sucks. But the only thing that you can learn from that is, okay, I'm not going to trust this person with being committed to something or planning something because they've obviously got their best interests at heart for themselves, which is fine. But they're too, I don't know, what's the good word? They're too chicken to tell me about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. There's a lot of people who wait until the last minute to say it because they're afraid of the
backlash.
I feel like but it doesn't make sense if you do it earlier versus later.
Yeah.
If you're afraid of like this constant backlash, it doesn't matter when you do it. Like that won't change. It's just you're delaying it.
You're just delaying the inevitable. It's going to be even worse when you don't say anything. It's like
100%. Yeah.
It's like ghosting. It's like modern ghosting for cosplay. It's like, what? I don't really want to be part of this group. I don't really want to say anything. So they might say something terrible. So I'm just going to like not say anything and try to avoid them.
Yeah.
And this is where rumors start. And this is where it's like, this person did this and they suck and me.
People assume as well.
Yeah.
They assume so many things. I was trying to think of something specific, but so many things came into mind. That was it. So that's what came out. But yeah. Oh.
Okay, Danny.
Yeah.
This might, maybe it's TMI, maybe it's, I don't know, a good story opportunity. Have you yourself ever been like the center of some controversy because of cosplay? Has cosplay ever caused you to be like, you know what, we gotta find Danny and say bad things about her or avoid her?
Like kind of, but not really. Like I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
If it has to that degree, it's never gotten back to me, which means that people probably don't believe it or it didn't spread as far as that person initially wanted it to. I've heard from other people that I'm apparently mad at someone or that I, did something bad.
Yeah.
Even though there was no communication in regards to that at all. It's like, am I? Like, I didn't know I was angry at someone, but I'm so sorry.
Did you hear Danny's angry at me? Oh my God.
Yeah.
What did you do?
It's not even that they're saying I am. They say, I think she is.
Yeah.
And then I think the other people usually come to me to confirm. And I'm like, about what? if I was, I've forgotten because...
Well, I think that's actually a good sign of a good friendship, I think. Because if,
I agree.
if someone does have a rumor about something or someone, I think it's very easy to take the side of whoever's talking the loudest.
Oh, yeah.
So,
100%.
Especially with social media, it's so easy to, make a public post or make some story with some giant paragraph about something saying, this is my experience, this happened with this person, they're a bad person, and everyone should hate them.
Yep.
Right?
I hate the petty, behind your back
It's so bad. It's so bad. And
it's like, just say it to my face, please. I
really
don't
think
like this.
a good majority of those conflicts with people, if you've got an issue with someone, if you were to have a conversation with them, I'd say most of the time, you probably could work something out. Or
100%.
if it is something really bad, we've seen posts over the last few years too about, this person was not very nice to their boyfriend or something, or this person really likes young girls or something, right? If it's something really bad and people's like, yeah, and I've got all this evidence and all these recordings, then take that stuff to authorities.
Yeah. I've really never understood that. It's like, if it's true, then, and you have all this evidence, why Instagram? Like, what's Instagram going to do?
I don't really get it.
Like, there's no public, like, retribution, execution type things. God. It's not the French Revolution. I don't know. I'm really confused about what people think is going to happen.
It's, because that kind of thing too can be, again, because we don't know the full story. We only have what this person has to say, and also another person has to say. And I think it's very easy to get swept up in, like I mentioned before, who's talking the loudest. This person said this about Daniela, so it must be true, and these other people agree with it. It must be true.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's always sad when you see the other person's side of things too. Like, I've seen both sides, because you go to your stories and you always see some sort of drama.
Absolutely.
I've gone to the person that is being spoken about, stories and read through that before. And a lot of the time they're like, someone told me that someone's saying these things about me. If I've hurt you, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time they didn't know. And it's like, so there was no previous communication between these two people. No one has told this person they've done something wrong and has just decided that they are going to cosplay jail. Like, I'm like, what? Where's the court?
And I think that's a really good thing that you did too, because I think the best thing to do, especially if it is someone that you're close to, if it's a complete stranger, I probably would not think too much of it, especially if it's nothing that concerns me. But if it was a close friend of mine, and, for example, someone was said, oh, Danny did this and they're a bad person and they should go to cosplay jail and all this, first thing I'm like, okay, that's pretty bold, but, I know Danny pretty well, so I'll be like, hey, Danny, I heard these things. Like, what's going on, man? Like,
you've always been good like that. You're not afraid to ask those questions, which is really important.
I think it is really good, especially if you are friends. I think the worst thing you can do is, someone says this about someone you consider a friend, and if all you do is, oh, I'm going to believe that person without having a conversation with my friend at all, well, what kind of friendship is that at all?
Yeah, that is not true friendship at all. That's like you were waiting for their downfall. You're like a frenemy, they call it, when
they're waiting for them to fall down.
You get super close.
And then they can take over or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, frenemies is a real thing. It's scary.
So dumb.
Yeah.
But the best thing I learned from this experience is, and because the best thing that we can do is, if you see something, it involves someone that you're close to, have a conversation. Because there's definitely more to things than we know, because, we weren't there to experience it. And the only thing we have to go off is just the experience from two people. So I think believing everything, everyone should know this. You don't believe everything you see online. It's very easy to have a short conversation with someone and make your own opinion, I think, from there. That is
100%
the healthy way to deal with this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So. Especially, just quickly to add on to that, if you notice two people used to be really close, and then suddenly one of them is talking bad about the other to everyone, I always find that so sus. I'm like, what's happened here? What did they do? Why are you so insecure? Like, why do you have to prove something? I don't know. I always find that really odd, because how can you switch so quickly against someone you're really close with? Like, really concerns me sometimes.
I mean,
it's like,
look, disagreements, I think, like you mentioned before, disagreements happen between people in a community, because some people just don't get on. Sometimes people will come to some disagreement about something which is at the very core of them. I'm not going to get along with that person anymore. And that's normal. We didn't make best
100%.
Friends with everybody in school for a reason, and it's the same with cosplay.
Exactly.
Just because we're all people who love dressing up, it doesn't mean we're all going to get along.
I agree.
Now, just because I know you mentioned that, I don't know, maybe I've been in part of something, maybe I haven't. I've definitely been part of the shitstorm of something before.
Oh, yeah.
So for anyone else who has or is going through the center of controversy with something because of some reason, which you might know about, or you might not know about it because they just talk shit about people behind their back, like poor Danny.
Yeah.
The best thing that I've kind of found to get through the other end is, number one, you know yourself the best, right? You know what's happened, you know how you feel, and you know your reaction to it. And so if you stuffed up, number one, own up to it. Don't try to pretend
100%.
like, hey, it wasn't my fault.
And please, no excuses. I hate that so much.
It's so bad. It's
really bad.
like if you stuff up, just own up to it. You know, make what is wrong right again. And if the other person chooses to forgive you from that point onwards, well, balls in their court. But at that point in time, you've done everything that you could possibly do.
Exactly. It's people are so afraid of
being wrong.
Bad and wrong and making mistakes, and it's not forever. It's so much you grow so much more when you can admit you've done something wrong and learn from it. You're not learning if you make excuses for it. You're excusing poor behavior so you can do it again.
Thank you.
That's so bad.
Beautifully put.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, it's very good. So, if you are going through a shitstorm, if you're the center of controversy, it's like, oh, Jeremy did this. He's a number one, if you fucked up, own up to it. But number two, you know, whether it was or wasn't your fault, there's going to be some backlash from people. Say it wasn't your fault. Say it was your fault. It's going to pass. Like, people are going to, you know, move on with their life. People are going to realize, yeah, you know, this person made a mistake. That sucks. Hope they grow up from it. Hope they learn from it. And you'll survive. Okay, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, the pain eases. Like, at first it might feel crippling, but you will forget eventually. You'll forget, like, the person. Like, you won't have that attachment almost. Like, sometimes, like, if it's a friend and you go through a rough patch and it doesn't fix itself, sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm never going to have a good friend like that ever again. And, you know, the world is ending. And it always feels like that at first. But trust me, you will make more friends and you will feel great. It passes.
It almost feels like a breakup, doesn't it? Right? You have to disagree with someone.
It is.
But no, that's 100%. That's 100% true. Because, you know, just because this one connection ends for whatever reason doesn't mean that you're not going to have that connection. It might just be a different connection with different people. So
yeah,
there's a lot of people in the cosplay community. Okay, it's not just like, I lost this one friend
100%.
group, I'm out.
That's it.
Why do you think
Find your people?
Why do you think we keep coming back to cons like year in, year out? Because we've met everyone already?
Exactly.
Hit the same people?
Yeah.
No, we meet new people, see new things. That's what keeps
I'm
it fun.
so happy about that as well. I've met so many great people.
Do you reckon you've forged through fire some friendships because you guys have been through those shitstorms together? You know, you like batten down the hatches, you keep the shield up in front of you. Did you find your true friends through?
I'm gonna shout out to Momo Rosclos because she's a real one. I'm sure some people have seen me share her content before, but like me, her and Byra were all really close to the point where, you know, we'll visit each other randomly sometimes and craft and just talk about what's troubling us. And we've all gone through the hell of cosplay and survived it together. And it's so good. I trust her with my life. Like,
I think
so.
That's
big
kind of what you want.
Her.
That's kind of what you want. Just this friendship in general, right? People who are gonna have your back or talk to you or believe in the best of you, even when the world's against you. So you know those anime friendships you see in anime? They're real, people. They're real.
Yes, they are. It's such a great feeling, and it's so good.
That's good. I'm glad.
I love it. What about you?
It's really.
Who have you gone through hell with?
It's really funny. So I don't know if I've ever told my friendship tier system thing on the podcast before, and Danny's like, "Fuck, here we go again." Friendship tier system explanation.
I love it though.
But I'll skip it for today. But I, for a very long time, was just doing competitions, right, as most people know. And because I was just focused on, so I started with, let's do cosplay because I'll meet friends. Maybe I'll make a girlfriend. Maybe I'll make cool connections and stuff. And just cosplaying, I weren't getting enough like disposable camera pictures of me taken. Sometimes there was, sometimes there wasn't. So I thought, maybe if I go up on stage and do a big costume, then people will notice me, kind of thing. And for a little bit, I met a few people, but I don't think I really made like really close connections through just doing competitions. So I did competitions for up to 2017 or 18, like really like year in, year out, just comps. But
Damn.
the lonely part about it is when you do competitions, and anyone who's competed before will know exactly what I'm talking about. If the competition is on a Sunday, say 2-day convention, Saturday, Sunday, maybe on the Saturday you'll be doing pre-judging and rehearsals.
That's right.
And you'll be like too worried about what's happening because you've got a performance tomorrow on the Sunday. And then the Sunday morning, you're backstage, you're there early, you've got to do photos, do the publicity thing for the convention. You perform at 1, 2 in the afternoon. I don't know, you wait for the results at 4 o'clock and your weekend's gone.
Oof.
So the whole time, you're just focused around this one event that I never got the chance to actually meet people or talk to people. I did meet great people who, helped me in the competition. But outside of that, it's like, did we actually hang out outside of cosplay? We didn't. So, funnily enough, I did start to make more friends when I stopped doing competitions. And that's one of the biggest draws for me these days to not compete, is because I'm really just enjoying, meeting people, hanging out with people, forging these connections.
I feel that. I haven't entered a comp properly yet. And I think it's because I've been enjoying just doing it for fun so far. I do want to do a comp though eventually, but I
mean, I think that's the reason we all want to push ourselves or challenge ourselves and see how far we can go. And it's a great thing. But I think at the end of the day, just keep in mind, if you're going to do a competition, like that entire weekend is gone.
Yeah.
So
as someone who has friends who have competed and I've seen their stresses and oh man. Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it's rough out here. It's like, I'll cheer you on. And the only time you see them is on stage on the competition day. And then after the competition, when they're like, oh my God, I'm so glad it's over. I'm going to go home and sleep now because I'm so tired. I was like, well.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, goodness.
It's so true. Oh, man.
But no, I'm very happy to say that, I've been able to meet a lot more people, make a lot more connections through cosplay. Ever since I started actually trying, it's like, you know what? I'm going to make some friends this year. It's great. And it has been good because,
it's so good.
Because, again, you go through, we talk about scandals and drama, cosplay, competition drama. Oh my God, that's a whole nother kettle of worms. Because
I've heard some intense things from people who were upset they didn't get accepted and then shitting on other competitors.
Oh my God. Okay, listen, you competitors out there who want to complain about things. There's a right way and a wrong way to complain, and talking shit about people because you don't like something, that's not good.
So bad. They'll be like, I was so much better than them. Like, why'd they get accepted and I didn't? I'm like,
or they start making up some rumors about, I heard they fucked the judge. Like, oh my God. How
that's so bad. Yeah, they think it's like this political agenda. Like, I don't get it. Maybe sometimes it is, who knows? But at the end of the day, I'm not a judge. I've never judged, but I can see why some people get picked over others. As I don't want to sound mean, but if you properly look at how these competitors work, it's insane.
It is.
You don't see it on the outside, but goddamn,
I think it's
like it's a lot.
It's very easy to, because you want to support your friends. You're like, my friend put 300 hours of work into this costume. They look magnificent. I've seen their stress. I've seen how they worked. They deserve this. But you know what? So have the other 10 people entering the competition. They've also put in the work. They've been stressed, and they're just as deserving to win. Now, look, I've lost more competitions than I've won by a long margin. Okay? So if you, as someone who's like, you know what, I have a right to complain because I was wronged. I should have won this. Me. Look, end of the day, the people who are judging, it's 3 or 4 people, right? You're getting judged by these 3 or 4 people. And maybe their decision would have been, maybe the results could have been different if it were different people judging, right? Maybe it would have been different if, you didn't accidentally trip them over in the hallway. Like, I got no idea, right? But the fact of the matter is just they decided that on this particular day, in this particular competition, that someone else won. You know, that sucks, but that's just the fate of anything that is an opinion-based competition. Right? It's not like a 100-meter race where it's, you know, the person who finished across the line first is the winner. There's no debate.
Art is definitely hard to judge.
Art is very difficult to judge. So you know, don't feel bad that, you know, because someone placed ahead of you, it means that you're a bad person or they're a bad judge. You know, it just means in this particular subjective competition, they were the winner. And the best you can do is like, you know what? Good job, Danny. You beat me. You did good. And
exactly.
Because that's going to make people feel like, you know what? I get stressed every time I'm competing. But every time I see Danny in the competition, I have a good time. And
that would actually be great. If I was competing with friends, it would feel much better.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's oh god, I talk with Maya a lot about this. The preliminary rounds that we did for WCS in Australia and Sydney, where we won, that round of competition was so nice. Like everyone who entered was just cheering each other on, supporting each other, helping people get stuff onto stage. Like
I love that.
That was such a good round of competition.
That's so good.
And it was the same thing for WCS in Japan too, actually, because everybody's in the same boat. You know, we're stressed as hell. Like I've never seen a stage this big or an audience this big. And everyone is like backstage, like just being each other's hype man. Like, yeah, you got this, bro. Like we're cheering for you. And you know, when someone finished and they came off stage, everyone just like applauded them as they came off. It was really nice.
I really like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like that hasn't always been the case. You know, there's been people who just keep to themselves. They don't want to talk to anyone. It might be nerves or something, but you know. Anyway, that's a little bit about competition in a nutshell. Now, let's move on to crediting. This is something that grinds my gears a little bit.
Same.
So, I don't think it's difficult, but when you work with people, you tag them in your photos.
Yeah, it's not that hard, guys.
And for anyone, especially who's new to cosplay in particular, you know, you might get crappy that, you know, someone uses your picture and they put on their blog or their magazine or something. You know, it's good to tag people. You know, it's just common courtesy. But the biggest thing that we need to do as cosplayers is credit your photographer.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't even care if it's your friend. I'm like, hey, Danny took this phone picture of me. I'm crediting Danny for taking this phone picture. Because, believe it or not, end of the day, that picture, the rights to use that picture belongs to the photographer. So even if it was on my phone, Danny took the picture. I'm actually, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that picture belongs to Danny. It's like, Danny, can I use this picture because you took it? So
yeah. It's just common courtesy. Like, I don't know, man. I've heard so many stories of professional cosplayers even who aren't really like as well known anymore, probably for that reason, but who haven't credited their photographers and photographers refuse to work with them again. I'm like, you know better. There's so many people out there that know better. And same with artists. Like if you use an artist's work
credit the artist
as a reference.
Please.
Yeah. It's not hard. Like how should I say it? You're reproducing their work in another way. It's still a reproduction in my opinion.
Yeah, whether you're drawing, I don't know, someone's OC if you know the artist, or especially if you're cosplaying someone's design. It's like, hey, I'm cosplaying X, Y, Z's person. You know, check them out because it's good art.
Yep.
I don't know, what do you think it is? Do you think it's like that people who don't do that, they're like, yeah, I did this myself. I designed this myself. I want the glory.
It's so hard to understand it because I used to do a lot of art. So maybe that's why I've always credited artists and even asked their permission to cosplay their art.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've always asked them, is it okay if I cosplay this?
So sweet.
Every single time they're like, of course. Or they'll have in their bio, please, free to cosplay. Like, you don't have to ask me. Like, I always check. Because as someone who used to do art, you know, I feel like I would appreciate it if people respected my art. So I think some people just don't think.
Yeah.
They don't think it's important, or that people will care or will check.
Yeah, just
And
spread the love. It takes
it's
a
so
second.
good. Not only is it supporting the artist, but it's also good to promote your work. Like the artist might share your cosplay. Like if you think about it, it's not doing you any damage
yeah.
to credit people. It's more eyes on your work as well.
Absolutely. I actually remember, because even when I was cosplaying a Full Metal Alchemist or Star Driver or something, back when I was posting on DeviantArt, I'd credit
Oh my gosh.
I'd credit like the original mangaka of whoever wrote the original manga. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'd like to thank this author for creating these characters that I'm cosplaying today, because without them, I wouldn't be here.
I think that's so cute
Yeah.
though. And especially if it actually is meaningful for
Yeah.
you. It's always good to have that in your posts.
Because I think no matter how, I'd like to say, no matter how big I think someone gets or how popular someone gets, if, you know, because I remember when I was making YouTube videos or something, I have like some young kid, like 9 years old from Adelaide or something, you know, oh, I'd like to thank Mangle Phantom here for helping me figure out how to craft this piece of armor. I'm like, oh, that's really sweet.
I love that so much. That is really cute. And I've had that a few times and I'm like, oh, you don't have to give me credit, but I appreciate it. But yeah, it's really cute.
Do you want a free cos card? Like, I don't have anything to give you. Oh, God.
All I have is like love. That's it.
I just have love to give.
Yeah, it's so, I was going to say, I have noticed, I think some really big influencers in the cosplay realm, sometimes they don't put where they got their cosplay from for sponsor reasons, I think.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
I'm not sure on that, but I think sometimes they won't advertise where they got it from because they want to be paid for it, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
It's
yeah,
like
right.
I feel like they'll message the person and be like, if you want me to credit, like tell you my audience that I got this from you, will you give me a commission for it or something?
I think particularly,
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's tough because I still think it should be said, because I think transparency is everything. Because if I was working for Riot Games or something to cosplay a League of Legends character for some event they were having, and I bought the costume, I'd be like, yes, I will gladly cosplay Ezreal at your next event, and I will get paid to cosplay Ezreal. But any photos they took, I'll be like, feel free to use any of my photos, but you know, if you need to credit myself, please credit the person who supplied me with this costume, because otherwise I wouldn't be here either. Right?
Yeah.
And that's a really big thing for, you know, especially if you're getting a commission done from someone.
Oh,
like, oh my God, just put the credit in.
There's so many times I've said, oh my God, that looks so good. You did such a good job. And they'll be like, thank you. And I'll find out later that they didn't actually make it.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Like, bro.
It must be isn't it a pride thing? Because I got no idea.
Or maybe they want to seem better than you even. Like if it's this one moment where they feel like they've one-upped you because they've made something amazing and you haven't. Like, I don't know. It could be... Or they could be scared. They're embarrassed. It could be an embarrassment thing. Like, oh my God, they think I made this. How do I get out of this
Yeah.
Could be just a scary lack of communication. But to the people who I know have no problem with communication, I've done this, I am onto you. I have seen behind the scenes. I know your bullshit.
I think as well, because this kind of comes into the realm of, you know, being, when you say it's like, oh, I think I'm better than you or something, right? This was a buzzword used, I reckon, like early 2010s, just like the elitists, right?
Oh, yes.
I am better than you. I am the superior cosplayer, right? And this, I tell this story all the time. It sticks with me because I was, quite frankly, quite disgusted. One of the first like big competitions that was at Supernova was like the Madman National Cosplay Competition, like edition 1. And there was this girl that I'd been kind of following on DeviantArt for a little while in Brisbane, and they had made this amazing set of armor. This is 2009. This is before any, you know, crafting was...
Yeah, that's impressive.
Was really available. So I asked him, like, this looks amazing. You know, how did you make it?
Yeah.
Quite simply, I just went, oh, it's a secret. I'm like, are you joking?
Oh my
Are you
God,
joking?
nasty behavior.
How could you? So this person was like, wow, like I really look up to this person. It's like, no, I don't. I really don't.
Not anymore. That's so
It was gross
cringe.
because at the end of the day, yes, I managed to figure it out myself. But did I ever want to talk to this person again? Absolutely not.
No. Oh, I'd get so like almost anxious if someone said it's a secret. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
for
like,
asking
whoa,
why.
what have I done? Jeez.
Who did you sacrifice to create this?
So I
Why
really,
is it a
really
secret?
like whenever people do decide to be like, hey, this is what I made. Did you want to know how I made it? People are like, yeah. It's like, sweet. Here it is. Full tutorial. Free. Cost you nothing. Make beautiful things, people.
Oh, actually, yes. That's how I first discovered you. I found out about you through YouTube, actually.
What was I posting?
You did boot covers.
Oh, my boot cover tutorial.
For Shield Hero. Yes. I remember. I was like, oh, this is so good. And then I saw your Instagram and I was like, oh, you're so talented.
You.
Yeah. I think I followed you.
Oh.
I don't even remember if I was already following you. I've kind of mixed up
No, it's okay.
my memory because I know we first met like 2 years ago.
Is that a
but I don't know if I
goal
was
Nova?
already following you. Yeah, I don't know if I was already following you then
Right.
or not. And if I wasn't, I probably didn't find your Instagram through YouTube yet. Or maybe you didn't link it or I was dumb. Because
Combination of all of them. I don't think you were dumb though. I think my linking system on YouTube might be broken or something.
But it was so helpful.
I'm glad.
But sorry to interrupt. I love it when
fine.
people ask how I make things too.
Yeah. And look, I will say, in the modern day, there's nothing wrong with buying your cosplay.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
Especially with like, okay, what's your goal? If your goal is just, hey, I want to wear fun costumes, look pretty, and hang out with friends, just buy it. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. And I really think the only time these days, I'll say unfortunately, that you need to make things is when you can't buy it because it's really a niche series or unique, or it doesn't come in your size because you might have very unique body shape.
Byron.
Or
Oh my God.
you want to enter a competition, then you got to make it, right? But
Exactly.
because I'm not competing anymore, and because I do fit costumes, which are somewhat popular these days, it's like, yeah, let's just buy something.
Yeah.
So
There are some of the biggest creators still sometimes buy their costumes. Like Stella Chu, for example. I don't know if you've heard of that
I've
cosplayer.
seen them around.
Yeah, she literally did a reel. It was a meme about, it was something about, I gotta put me first. And she's grabbing these piles of costumes she's bought and the caption was talking about how
It's fine to buy
hard
stuff.
to do. Yeah, it's fine to buy stuff and it's hard to just constantly pump out costumes and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, and it's comforting too when you see these really talented people buy costumes too sometimes. It's like there's no harm in
Yeah.
it. Some people are so set on making everything and it's like it's probably cheaper if you just bought it.
I think
Like-
these days especially it is. These days it is. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you want to make everything, make everything. Right?
Oh, 100%.
But it doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you like,
No, exactly.
I'm a better cosplayer because I make my stuff.
Yes.
Like, dude, chill out.
That's the
We're all nerds just dressing up. So
it's going to be for the right reason. If you're just trying to, I don't know, prove that you're this great person, or I don't know, it's like you don't need to. There are other ways.
some of the coolest people I've met are people who just buy stuff and they just like hanging out and cosplay and having a good time.
Same.
But-
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to, I'm sorry to say, just, you know, through doing years of competition, it's very hit or miss, the people I talk to. Some of them like wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's share the craft. Let's share some of the techniques I use. That's great. And some people are just like, no, I'm doing my thing, keeping to myself. Oh, how did you make that? Oh, like that? Oh, okay. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
it's like
Oh.
so rude. Oh, yeah, there's some really nasty people out there. I've had an old friend as well who would be like, oh, they cosplayed one of my favorite characters, but I obviously do a better job. But
Really?
they still did all right. Yeah.
No way.
And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. And it's hard when it's a friend because
Like, did you
can't
just say
tell
that?
sometimes. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
hard. It's like, are you joking or are you serious? And when they keep saying it
Yeah.
and they're not laughing, you're like, oh, they legit think they're better than everyone they think they're the character
The
here,
character.
cosplayer. Yeah.
I will say that. What's your opinion if, someone does have that behavior and they're a friend, right? Is it your place to say something about it? Or it's like, look, that's kind of behavior. I'm just going to distance myself from them. Like, do you feel like it's your place to say something to them? Or do you feel like, hey, look, if that's how they're going to behave, I'm just going to choose to not hang out with them as much?
I really wish I had said things about their behavior early on instead of just giving them the benefit of the doubt, if that makes sense. I've learned a lot. Like, it's crazy how much you can learn in just a year.
Yeah.
Like in just a year, I created my own, circle of friends and, became friends with more people in the community and all these things. But then you learn so much about people and you learn how to deal with these situations,
Yeah.
And when you're in a community, I feel like it's a bit more scary sometimes to voice your opinion because you're afraid of where it's going to go or how it's going to end or if it's going to break up this whole community like comfort you've created.
Yeah.
But I really wish I had said something. I think it definitely is. If you're a good friend or you're trying to be a good friend, I think it's important to call each other's shitty behavior out.
Yeah.
Like, I would hope, Jeremy, if I ever do something bad, please tell me. Like, and whenever someone has made me feel bad or I feel like they don't like me, I've messaged people plenty of times, been like, hey, you're giving me these I hate you vibes. Do you hate me? Because if you do, it's cool. Like, we don't have to pretend to be friends. It's just awkward. Like, just say
have
it.
I done something wrong? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Danny's like, she's really bad. Like, I can't believe I hung out with her. Quick, spread the rumors. That's what I do, Danny.
Quick, go.
It's just
Oh, yes.
quick, avoid her.
Sure.
Oh.
Legit. I believe it.
Oh dear. I'll tell you
Villain.
what though, it's because like I mentioned before, I have been on the receiving end of that before. Mostly because it was like relationshipy stuff more than.
It always is, isn't it?
I know. It's like I say more than shitty behavior. I mean, maybe my shitty behavior was involved in that relationshipy stuff, but
Yeah.
it does suck when you've got people who you consider friends or people who you thought, hey, we're pretty chill, and all of a sudden they just stop talking to you. Like, it really sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah. Yep.
But at the end of the day, sometimes you'll get closure and sometimes you won't. And all you can really do is, figure out, it's like, did I do something wrong or did I act according to my own values? Did I do things that I'm proud of? And I think it's pretty easy. It's like, oh, am I proud of that? No, I'm not. I'm gonna work on that. But if it's like, no,
I feel that.
I stood up for myself. I defended my friend. I'm proud to call them my friend. And if I have to lose that section of my friend circle because I defended this person and I believe that they're a good person, then so be it.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
But
get rid of the shit.
That happens, But I think that's normal. You'll meet people, you get along with them, and you'll find your tribe, as they say.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason why we hang out. That's the reason why
exactly.
You and Momo hang out, and that's why we have the friends that we have. But one last thing before we kind of start to wrap up is elitism, and this goes out to everyone. Elitism in friend circles. Okay, now I believe. Because people say, oh man, it's so hard to make friends because, people are cliquey or people just kind of want to find their own friend group and hang out with them. That's normal. That's fine. Okay? However, if you're one of these people who's thinking, man, it's so hard to meet people, it's so hard to make friends because it's so cliquey. What I don't want you to do is when you do find friends is just hang out with those friends and refuse to talk to anyone else because you're like, yes, I found friends. Because it is very difficult to... anyone in school who's like, I want to meet those guys, hang out with those kids once in a while, or, I want to meet these cosplayers. It's very difficult to break into a friend circle. And obviously we have our friends who we like hanging out with and we know them very well and we want to keep hanging out with them. But at the same time, I always try to be very open if someone talks to me and they're like, wow, dude, I love your costume. I will try to hold a conversation with them and give them the time of day. Like, you know what? They took time out to come and talk to me. Let's see what their vibe is like. Because
It makes me so happy when people approach me.
yeah, because otherwise, yeah, you will start to become one of those people who think, yeah, they're really elitist. They don't talk to anyone. They only talk to other renowned cosplayers. And yeah, they could just be your friends, but that's the vibe you're gonna give off. So
100%. Some people have their little clique. Is that how you say it? I don't know how to explain it, but they have this like really closed off circle, and anyone else who approaches is like the bottom of the food chain almost. And I know how scary it is to approach people as well. So if someone approaches me, I get so excited. Like, come join our friend circle. Like, obviously we all have, those few really close friends that we always vibe with and want to hang out with.
Yep.
But I'm never excluding people.
yeah, absolutely.
Like I really like the togetherness.
I mean, it's not like it's a club where, you got this dance circle, you have friends, and then some guy wants to like come in and ruin the vibe if his approach is really weird. Like, yeah, close off the circle if you're not feeling it.
Oh, there are some people like that though. Not gonna
There are some people yes, that's true. That is true. I will agree. Sometimes it can be like the club, and you can upset some guys who have a bit of a weird approach.
Yeah, but I get your analogy.
I thought it was an okay
no
analogy.
one's out to get you.
No one's out to get you.
It's good.
And especially if it's like, daytime, family-friendly event. Like, you're typically surrounded by decent people for the most part.
Yeah.
So I always like to try and believe that, there's good in everybody and try to see the best in people rather than try to assume, everyone is, crappy. Everyone's out to backstab me. Everyone's out to spread rumors about me. Like,
such poisonous way of thinking. It's so easy to do, but yeah. It's even the people I don't like, because there are a few that I've distanced myself from because, it's normal. Yeah. I could still find qualities that I'm like, if they weren't an ass, we could have been friends. Yep. Know what I mean? It's like, damn, it's such a shame. And maybe they're not a good friend for me, but maybe they're a good friend for someone else.
Yeah.
But stay away.
That's all I say at the end of the day. I never told you this, but I had mates in school. Like, we were friends for 15, 16 years. And then, people change. And he's someone I actually had to cut off because he was just getting really, really toxic, unfortunately.
It's so sad, but it happens. I've had that too.
And I think it's really difficult to... I think it's more difficult to stand up to your friends than it is to stand up to strangers. Because with friends, you've got history, you've got good moments that you want to keep, and you've got that bond that's been strengthened. And strangers is like, well, you know what? Who's this guy stepping on my turf? I can tell him to get lost with no repercussions. So
there's so many people like that. That's so cringe. Please don't do that. We do notice, especially women. I'm sorry. Like, if you're a guy and you peacock, we know that we see that shit and it's an instant turn off. It's like, okay,
let's talk about peacocking in a future episode because I think this is going to be a really, really fun topic.
100%.
Okay, what would you prefer? A peacocker or an orbiter? So someone who kind of just hangs around the group after they've had like one short conversation with you.
Oh, definitely the orbiter. It really depends if they're creepy.
I mean, it's hard to say. What if the peacocker was like a very normal person? They just happened to have like, shirt off and shiny nipples.
It really depends because I'm fine with, people. Sometimes people do it comically or they're being accurate to the character.
Yep.
But when they say things like, "Oh, I'm cuter than you," or "I'm better than you," like They've heard people say these things, not to me, but to other people.
Oh my gosh.
There are some girls, I'm sure, who act like that too, be like, "Oh yeah, but mine's better." Or "I'm just better at this than you." Like, I have had a female friend tell me that they're better at something than me in cosplay. Like, "You're just good at that, but I'm pro at this." And I'm like, we could all be good at everything. Like, we don't have to have roles. Like, it's cool, man. Yeah, it's crazy. That's the kind of peacocking that is really gross, But if you're just like, you feel sexy, you feel hot, and you're like, yeah, and I'm going to flaunt it. It's fine. You can be humble. You don't have to go up to everyone and be like, "Oh," and like just shove their face in your pecs. Like, go, "Oh."
You can be sexy
you don't have to do that.
And humble. That's the quote of the day, Danny, 2025.
Exactly.
You can be sexy and humble.
Yes, you don't have to tell people you're cuter or hotter than others. Like, it's okay. What are you afraid of? No one's gonna try and take away your crown. Like,
It's like, no, I'm sexier. I'm more humble.
there's so many people like that. It's funny.
That's got to be the most ironic thing to say. I'm more humble than you.
Yes. Oh, I remember saying that in one of our podcasts once. I was like,
Really?
oh, I like to be humble.
Oh,
And I
oh,
was
yeah,
like,
I'm
that
sure you
sounds
do, Danny.
weird.
I'm sure you
Yeah, I
do.
was like, that sounds so silly. How do you be humble, calling yourself humble? But yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, the whole peacocking thing, it's like saying you're better than people, especially it's just
I genuinely think this is people's attempt to make friends by
think
showing
so
that,
too.
yes, I am a talented cosplayer and people like talented cosplayers, so therefore I will show how talented I am.
yeah. Or they try to take people down a peg if they think
that's
someone is better than them.
That is the worst. That is the worst. Look,
Yeah.
if you don't know how to make yourself feel better because you feel like, oh, I'm not very good, or I'm just kind of getting better and this person's better than me, you don't have to be like, oh, your costume's not that good, or where, you know, if they say, oh, yeah, it took me 100 hours to this, don't be like, oh, mine took me 200 hours. Like,
I hate the one-up people.
Oh, it's not a dick measuring contest. It's never a dick measuring contest. However,
yeah, you work this many hours, I work this many hours.
I hate it. It's like, man, I did 40 hours this week. Oh man, I did like 60 hours this week. Like, I don't care. What is this? Like a competition to see who can grind themselves into the ground? Stupid.
so dumb.
So look, if you have no idea how to, because you're like, oh, I have to keep peacocking to make myself feel better. All you gotta do is give them a compliment. Be like, wow, you did 40 hours this week, man? Dude, you must have worked really hard. Good job.
Yes.
That's it.
That is socializing 101.
Oh, or it's
Be like, wow, I'm proud of you for working so hard. Make sure you give yourself a break, though. You deserve it.
Or you're like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've, worn a sexy costume like this. I'm feeling really good about myself. I'm not going to come up to you, Danny.
So you should, girl.
Yeah, so you should. Like, you look great.
Yeah.
You look hot.
Yeah.
Like, you flaunted it. You
Exactly.
earned it. I'm not going to be like, no,
Yeah.
Danny, I'm sexier than you. And I'll be like, check this out.
Like, legit, though, some people are like that. That's when I think it's peacocking.
Yeah,
when
peacocking.
they try to prove that they're better than you.
They're better. And, okay, guys,
Yeah.
it's not like who can knock each other's tower down. It's not.
No.
Just
It's not
keep
Jenga.
building your tower and keep giving the other person Jenga blocks. They can also build their tower. Why don't just grow together?
Yeah.
Instead of like tearing this person down to be the same level as you.
Yep.
Why don't you just like help each other build?
It screams insecurity too. It's just tells me you're insecure and a lack of confidence. You think you're trying to flaunt you have more confidence. It gives me you have no confidence and you're insecure instantly. And the person who takes it like a champ and is like, oh, of course you are. You look amazing. Like
they're the
that
real MVP.
Screams,
That's the confident
that screams,
person.
I'm secure and I know I'm hot. That's the confident person. Yeah.
Okay, there you guys. We've learnt irony today. If you say, I'm really humble, you're not humble. If you say,
Don't listen to me.
I'm really
Cut that
confident,
out.
you're not confident, all right? Oh, Danny, that's got to be my
It's
favourite
all a
quote of
lie.
yours. Oh my god.
So embarrassing.
Oh dear.
Look, I'm still learning.
No, look, we're
all
still
I'm gonna
learning. We're
say.
all the work in progress. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our podcast, everybody. That we're back on the grind. We're gonna be doing
did it.
more episodes. We're gonna try keep it weekly as much as we can. If not, keep an eye on Instagram. Watch it out there. We do have some really cool announcements coming soon, which is the reason why there's been such a big break since the last episode and this one. So
exciting.
if you're a cosplayer anywhere in the world, you're going to love what we've got in store coming soon. We'll keep you updated on what that is as we continue to keep working on it and get close to getting it finished. But
Yes.
thank you very much for joining us again. If you are a new viewer, welcome. Hope you enjoyed our vibe. And if you're returning,
Thanks, guys.
thank you for coming back. We appreciate you.
Much love.
Much love.
Doing heart fingers, but you can't.
You can.
See
We've
it.
got video now. We've got video.
Oh, we do too. Yeah, and
There we
they
go.
look pretty decent.
Good. Yeah, it's not too bad. Excellent. We'll be back hopefully next week. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.